Detroit, Become Human. That's right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about QuanticDream's latest game on the PlayStation 4. Now, before we get into the gameplay, let's talk about QuanticDream for a minute. Now, QuanticDream is a studio I specifically and particularly love. Now, they've created games such as Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, with Heavy Rain becoming a cult classic for the PlayStation 3, and Beyond Two Souls gets mixed opinions. I liked the game. I thought it was a fine game. And Detroit Become Human follows in those footsteps. Now, what do I mean follows in those footsteps? Well, QuanticDream doesn't necessarily create a video game. They create an interactive experience where the decisions and the choices that you make heavily affect the story and the outcome that you're going to see throughout the game. Now, in Detroit Become Human, there's three branching stories of Marcus, Connor, and Alice. Now, you might think Detroit Become Human is a very interesting title. What does it mean? Well, it takes place in the city of Detroit, and Become Human is a little ominous because pretty much these three characters I've mentioned to you, they're androids. Their duty and their purpose, they were created to serve humans in multiple different ways. Each one of them has a different job. However, they become deviants. Now, a deviant in this game is an android who starts to develop human emotions, and they start to feel like they're alive and that they're not machines, which overall branches directly into how this game plays. I don't really want to give a lot of spoilers out of this game because I definitely suggest you guys play it. Now, the cool thing about Detroit Become Human is that each chapter has so many different outcomes and so many different decisions you can make, which overall at the end of the game, it does affect the ending you're going to receive. There's multiple endings within this game, and overall, things you do in previous chapters also can affect certain options, certain paths you can unlock for things you can do in future chapters, if that makes sense to you guys. For example, if in like chapter 3 you do X amount of things, it'll unlock a different option for you. Same like chapter 8. I'm not specifically giving an example here, it's just kind of how it works. So what's cool is that, you know, this game and a lot of QuanticDream games in themselves are designed for multiple playthroughs because there's so many different things you can see that you wouldn't necessarily have seen through your first playthrough based on the choice you make, which is why it's definitely recommended to play this game like 2 or 3 times just to see everything that this game had to offer. There's a lot of unlockables, there's bonus points, certain things you do within the chapters gives you points to unlock like galleries and art and like, you know, little bonus features that games have. Now, the story of this game, as I mentioned, these androids start to develop human emotions, and they start to view themselves as another race entirely, that they want to coexist with the humans, and the humans just kind of aren't having it because a lot of them have that bias that machines are taking our jobs, or you're just a robot, you can't feel things along those lines. So overall in this game, it's pretty much these androids coming together to serve a better purpose of, you know, being like a unified race. Like, it's very interesting to see, and this game does take place in like 2038. However, QuanticDream takes you really on an emotional roller coaster with this game because, you know, there's certain aspects of this game where, you know, it's very fight driven, or others just decisions you have to make. They only give you a certain time to kind of figure out what you want to do and where you want to go. And, you know, if you don't choose in time, it gives you like a default answer, which necessarily wouldn't give you the story that you might want to see. Which is why QuanticDream does a great job of playing with your emotions and just how you question things. Now, one thing I like about Connor's story, he was probably my favorite character in this game, Alice being my least favorite, and Marcus kind of being right in the middle. Connor's a detective. He's out there to solve, like, crimes and stuff. So it kind of felt like L.A. Noire for a little bit, because you have to, like, analyze the clues and do little things like that. But overall, this game, as I mentioned, there is, like, action in it. However, it's all quick-time events. Now, that's kind of underlying as to what I mentioned earlier about how QuanticDream creates these interactive experiences, because, you know, it's very akin to, like, a point-and-click adventure, to the extent where, like, you don't really fight, but the buttons show up on the screen like Shenmue used to do, and you have to press them in the right amount of time to get the actions, or, like, say if you're in a fight, if you don't press square quick enough, you'll be getting punched in the face, where if you did press square, it would have blocked it. You know, things like that. So the game keeps you on your toes because certain actions pass by quicker than others. Now, do I recommend Detroit Become Human? Well, I said it earlier in this video. I definitely do. This is a PlayStation exclusive. QuanticDream has been working directly with Sony exclusively over the past couple years, from Heavy Rain to Beyond Two Souls to now Detroit Become Human. When this game was first announced back in 2013, I pre-ordered it immediately. From the first E3 debut trailer, I believe that was 2015, I've had this game on pre-order for about 3 years now, and I really just couldn't wait for it to finally come out. Now, the game itself, the story, you can complete in about 11 hours, like I did. However, as I mentioned, the game's definitely worth multiple playthroughs just to see all the different endings and different sequences that you can see. Now, like, if you're trying to platinum this game, you're going to have to play through it multiple times because different choices give you different trophies, which is kind of a little cheap. Kind of force you to play it more than once. But the fact that this game necessarily isn't long definitely works in its favor. Like, you could probably platinum this game in about 30 hours, probably like 3 playthroughs if you're really trying. However, QuanticDream has done a great job in kind of artificially bringing androids to life in this game. Now, a lot of the times it's funny because of how human they are. Certain things that occur, you don't really notice, or sometimes like it slipped my mind that I'm playing as an android right now because of the way the human emotions are portrayed to be so realistic. Other times, you know, it's blatantly obvious that these things are robots. So it's cool that there's like a happy medium there where sometimes, you know, it might throw you off. And I think QuanticDream probably did that on purpose to make you empathize more with the androids. Now, guys, that's my thoughts on Detroit Become Human. I believe it's definitely worth the playthrough, at least once. Definitely pick this one up. QuanticDream definitely did like a 2 thumbs up job on this, even though I just did 1, so here's 2. Pick this one up. If you guys have played it, what did you think of Detroit Become Human? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. As always, guys, thank you for watching this video. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and go check out all my other videos. Until next time, you guys have a fantastic day. Pick up Detroit Become Human, and go live the life of an android. See ya.